Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Matt sent me a note and said, Steve, did you hear the story about the car dealership in trouble with the Federal Trade Commission? I was not aware of this, so I looked it up at ftc.gov. FTC takes action against multi-state auto dealer Napleton for sneaking illegal junk fees onto bills and discrimination. They'll pay a record-setting $10 million in a case brought jointly with the state of Illinois. So the state of Illinois and the Federal Trade Commission working together took action against Napleton, a large multi-state auto dealer based in Illinois. It's a group of auto dealers. They are alleged to have been sneaking illegal junk fees for unwanted add-ons onto customers' bills and for discriminating against black consumers by charging them more for financing. Napleton will pay $10 million to settle a lawsuit brought by the FTC and the state of Illinois, a record-setting monetary judgment for an FTC auto lending case. So the bulk of this has to do with the loans underlying the auto sales. Working closely with the Illinois Attorney General, we are holding these dealerships accountable for discriminating against minority consumers and sneaking junk fees onto people's bills. That's Samuel Levine, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Especially as families struggle with rising car prices, dealerships that cheat their customers can expect to hear from us. And yeah, imagine that's the old adding insult to injury. You finally find a car you can buy these days, and they load you up with fees. The complaint against North American Automotive Services, Inc., which is also known as Ed Napleton Automotive Group, alleges that eight of its dealerships and the general manager of 2 Illinois dealerships illegally tacked on junk fees for unwanted add-on products such as payment insurance and paint protection. Why not paint insurance? Why not payment protection? Hey, fabric protection, window sealant. You're going to want that. The illegal junk fees cost consumers hundreds or even thousands of dollars. According to the complaint, the dealerships would often wait until the end of the hours-long negotiation process to sneak the fees for add-on products and services into consumers' purchase contracts. And those contracts often ran as long as 60 pages. I'm only laughing because it's so absurd, but this is what we always hear, is that if you go to a dealership to buy a car at 8:01 because they open at 8:01 in the morning, somehow the paperwork won't be prepared until 5 minutes to 5, and they close at 5. Funny how that works. And then 60 pages to be signed at the time you buy the car. The junk fees were often added despite consumers specifically saying they didn't want them or having confirmed prices that did not include the add-ons. So they say, look, what's my bottom line? What's the price? What's the out-the-door pricing? It's this, plus some junk fees. What? You hear something? A survey cited in the complaint showed that 83% of buyers from the dealerships were charged junk fees for add-ons without authorization or as the result of deception. One consumer cited in the complaint reported the dealership located in Arlington Heights, Illinois, charged him for nearly $4,000 in add-on fees after he'd paid a similar amount in down payment. And I've heard of dealerships that do that, where they know there's a discount involved or a down payment involved or a rebate involved, and they think, hey, we can add on stuff to eat that up, and they might not notice it because it's not going to change, in essence, the price of the car. It'll look kind of like the numbers are dancing someplace else. The complaint also alleges that the Napleton dealerships discriminated against black consumers in connection with financing vehicle purchases. Napleton employees had wide latitude to increase the cost of a consumer's loan by increasing the amount paid in interest or adding add-ons to the final contract. According to the complaint, black customers at the dealership were charged approximately $190 more in interest and paid $99 more for similar add-ons than similarly situated non-Latino white customers. So basically, they're saying that they were charged more for financing and charged more for the nonsense add-ons. So the junk they were being sold cost them more. It's adding insult to the insult, added to the injury. Under the terms of the proposed settlement with the FTC in the state of Illinois, $9.95 million of the judgment will be used to provide monetary relief to consumers and $50,000 will be paid to the Illinois Attorney General Court-Ordered and Voluntary Compliance Payment Projects Fund. So they're going to try to actually give this money back and get it back to the people that it was taken from. That at least is the theory. The settlement will also require the defendants to establish a comprehensive fair lending program that will cap the additional interest markup they can charge consumers. The settlement also requires the defendants to charge consumers only with express, informed consent and prohibits them from misrepresenting the cost or terms to buy, lease, or finance a car, or whether a fee or charge is optional. So, interestingly, and I've talked about this before, if you go to a car dealership during regular times, you say, I want to buy a car. They go, great. I want to finance the car. They go, great. We can find you financing. They come back. They go, we got you financing. Let's go. Many people just sit down and start signing documents on. And, well, did you find me 1.9% APR or 24.99% APR? It's a big difference. And I did a video about how I got 0.0% financing on a vehicle I bought, but that's another story. The point is that that number makes a huge difference in the cost of that loan. And as many people will point out in the comments to this video, and I urge you to do so, is that you can shop for your own financing. So you can go to your credit union, you can go to your bank, you can go online and poke around and find out what the best interest rate is that you can get. Now, it's more convenient for many people to get the financing through the seller, but you don't have to. Now, they're going to pretend like they don't want you to do that and they're really unhappy you're doing that because they make money off the financing. But as you might guess, if they make the money off the financing, they're not getting that money from the bank, they're getting it from you. It's costing you more money to borrow money if someone else is making money off besides the lender. So keep that in mind. The defendants in this case were the North American Automotive Services, Inc., also doing business as Ed Napleton Automotive Group, Ed Napleton Elmhurst Imports in Elmhurst, Napleton's Arlington Heights Motors in Arlington Heights, Hitco Kedrick, general manager of the two Illinois-based dealerships, Napleton's North Palm Auto Park, also doing business as Napleton's North Lake Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lake Park, Florida, Napleton Enterprises, LLC, also doing business as South Orlando Kissimmee Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Florida, Clermont Motors, LLC, also doing business as Napleton's Clermont Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Florida, North Palm Motors, LLC, also doing business as Napleton's North Lake Kia in Florida, Napleton's Elwood Motors, also doing business as Napleton's Elwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elwood City, Pennsylvania, and Napleton's Mid-River Imports, Inc., also doing business as Napleton's Mid-Rivers Kia in St. Peters, Missouri. The commission vote authorizing the staff to file the complaint and the stipulated final order was 4-0, meaning that the staff agreed on this. And they do want you to know that the commission files a complaint when it has reason to believe that a defendant who's named is violating or is about to violate the law, and it appears to the commission that a proceeding is in the public interest. What happened here apparently is the Federal Trade Commission became aware of complaints against these car dealers, did some investigation, and then decided to file a complaint, an actual lawsuit. And if you go to the ftc.gov website, you will find that this information is there for you to see. And what they have apparently done is they filed the complaint, and after filing the complaint, the defendant stepped up and said, look, let's resolve this. What do we got to do? What can we do to resolve this? So they reached a resolution, and the resolution sees Napleton Auto paying a record-setting $10 million in the case brought by the Federal Trade Commission and the state of Illinois. And so it appears that they've resolved it. In other words, they're not going to go through years of litigation and get in front of a jury or anything. And that happens a lot. And so I know that people are often critical of the government and how they handle big cases like this. But one thing they tend to do, is they tend to look for large patterns where either a group of people are doing something a lot or one entity is doing something a lot. And then what they do is they do a ton of investigation and research and preparation before they file their case. So that when they file their case, they go, here's our case, and they file it. And the person against whom it is filed looks at it and goes, oh, I need to resolve this rather than fight it because of the homework that they did at the front end going in before probably anybody knew that this was happening. So there you go. It's a good result. And the question is whether they can get that money back to the right people and how they'll go about doing that. So if you bought a vehicle from one of those 8 dealerships, you might want to contact the Federal Trade Commission and see if you are part of some kind of settlement group that can get some money out of this. But it's from the FTC.gov, the website. Matt sent it to me. Thanks a lot. FTC takes action against multi-state auto dealer Napleton for sneaking illegal junk fees onto bills and discriminating against black consumers. There you go. Questions or comments? Put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. You know, Hobbs, some days even my lucky rocket ship underpants don't help.